Hello everyone and welcome back to my creative world where today we are going to be building an apple tree and some buckets full of apples. So for this project we will need mud brick walls, oak leaves, jungle leaves, and if you are playing in a creative world, netherite and invisible item frames. We'll get to that later. So for our tree we're going to start off with a 3 or 4 block mud pillar, and then we're just going to surround it in our leaves, and we're just going to sprinkle in some of both. Now the reason I chose jungle leaves here is you can kind of see they have a texture on them that looks a bit like an unripe apple or one of those Granny Smith apples, the green ones. So that's why I chose it. Again, it's not the best facade, but at least it's something to go off of. So now we've had a bit of a base layer here, and we can just add in a bit of branches, and they don't have to be connected per se. I think it looks a bit blocky that way, at least for this tree. And I'm just going to add in 2 of those. You can do more if you have a bigger base area, but I'm just going to attach in a bunch of more leaves, like so. Sorry, this is kind of awkward, just long pauses. Not too good at this whole video thing, am I? Jeez Louise. I don't know what I'm doing here. So, again, we're just building up our leaves. And make sure you get extra jungle leaves towards the top, because if you have ever been at an apple orchard, you will probably know that everyone can reach down here at the bottom, which looks really awkward right now. I know. So yeah, you will want to surround these leaves. But up top, it's like you need a ladder to get those. So generally, that's kind of like what the staff picks. I've been apple picking a few times. I don't know if that's a common thing to do. It always seems kind of busy, but we also have a lot of orchards in my area. Upstate New York, you know. Just has a lot of stuff like that. Speaking of which, we actually had a solar eclipse like a few hours ago now. So that was really fun to watch. We got the glasses, some free thing. So don't worry, they were perfectly safe. But yeah, don't look at the sun if you don't have glasses. Just make sure you're watching solar eclipse and other stuff safely. So now we've kind of got our base tree, and this is where it gets a bit tricky. So this is an invisible item frame, and you can see I've put a netherite in them to give the illusion of apples. And of course, if you want, you can go for actual apples, but I mean, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. But I'm going for a crab apple tree, and if you don't know, crab apples are basically really small versions of normal apples, and so I've just kind of clustered them around. So this invisible item frame is only accessible in with commands or whatever other stuff you have on Bedrock. I'm not too sure what you guys have over there, but if you want to do this build in survival, you might have to find a different option. So it's unfortunate, but I will put the command down in the description. So if you want to try this out for yourself, by all means, go ahead. It'll be in the description below this video. I think you guys know the drill. We're on YouTube. Come on, guys. Shouldn't have to explain this too much. So, you know, we've just kind of got to few sprinkled in there. So that's what we have for the tree, but these barrels need a few different blocks. We will need nether wheat block, crimson nylium, am I saying that right? Let me know. Barrel, and a spruce trapdoor. So, well, you don't need both of these blocks. I believe you need Silk Touch to get this in survival. So you can just use this. I just like to mix it up a bit for variety, see if you can like get different apple types. And I think you can probably get away with using the Waped Nylium for like green apples. I'm not too sure about that. Might be a bit too blue. But what we're doing here is we're basically surrounding one of these blocks in trapdoors like this. These are the spruce trapdoors. And then we're going to add in a couple barrels. Technically we don't need this one. Stop opening the barrel. So a bit clunky. Just moved to a new setup. So hopefully the audio here is a tad bit better. I'm not too sure. But still a little annoying to get right. So if you can't hear me too well, I'm sorry. I'm not too good at all this stuff. See if we can get one go sideways there. And then once we have that kind of thing, and you can really just do this randomly. It all depends on how clustered you want them to be and all that kind of thing. But you can even probably go for like a 2 wide one if you're feeling risky. And then I'm just going to add in more barrels around back here. You kind of have something like that. Then one thing I do like to do is add in trapdoors like this to make it look like these crates are closed a little bit. And I don't know if you guys would want to do that or not, but seems to work okay. In fact, I'm not too big of a fan of this one, so I'm probably just gonna attach it like that. And of course you can make these bigger in size or whatever you think looks the best. And I reckon you could probably find a way if you're in creative, you could like turn off tick speed. And I don't know if that would work or not, but you could probably add some fan coil, but we're just gonna make this fail survival accessible because the tree wasn't. I mean, you can still do the base in survival, but it's a tad more annoying. It's not got any good apples on it. So with that, I think that we will be finished here, and you can probably make a whole apple orchard with this, and ignore the junk in the background. So thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.